Okay, and I think we're live. Welcome, everyone. I'm just getting the controls sorted out here, and we'll get started in just a minute. It used to be we had more of a green room thing happening here. Let's see. And I just want to size this up. Yes, forgot about that. Okay. Okay. I'm just getting the session notes together here in my video window and looking for the controls. The wise YouTube seems to move them around again. Switch accounts. No, we don't want to do that. We just would like to change the camera angle. Well, here we go. I guess we can't do that. If you're watching this on YouTube and you are joining a group, say something in the chat box if you can find it. I won't be using it for the session particularly, but love to know that you're here. It says that there's at least 4 or 5 of you here already, so welcome. Although that number seems to be fluctuating. Yeah, more people arriving. That's great. And I'm just, again, just sizing up my screen here so that we can just we'll just have to do that, I guess. All right, whatever it is. All right, here we are. Welcome, everyone. This is a World Peace Hologram session using resonance repatterning. My name is Carolyn Winter. I'm a holographic coach, and it gives me great pleasure to facilitate this session today. This is a group session that you can use to experience more energy for what you want in your life. And today we're focusing that intention on what we want for all of us in terms of managing, coping with the COVID-19 virus and the pandemic lockdown that everybody's experiencing worldwide. It's truly a bizarre state of affairs for the world. And, you know, in one way, it's sort of great to stay home. The other way, many people are finding that really nerve-wracking, and yet that's the best way for most of us to help out with this dreadful situation. So I use a process called resonance repatterning, and it uses 2 tools. Muscle checking, for those of you who are uninitiated with this. It's a biofeedback tool that works in the principle that the body knows what it wants for itself. It's a binary on-off switch. So you'll see me using that throughout the session. Kind of fun. If you want to learn more about that, just look up resonance repatterning. You'll get all kinds of information on Mr. Google. And there's another tool called the Mandela or MAP. And by using this muscle checking, it helps me to inform where to go into the energy system to find the information that we need to use to shift our frequencies today. So there's orientation, problems, intentions, repatterning, spiral up options, and positive actions. I'll speak to each of those as they come up in the session. Some of you had the opportunity to send me your issues and intentions in advance for the session, which was great. Kind of gives me a bit of a foothold for where to start the session. But whether you're participating right now and you didn't have the opportunity, or you're listening to this recording much later, You can just, as we're going along, write this information out for yourself, okay? So that's a bit of the process and how you can participate. This session will work whether you're watching it today or you watch it tomorrow or another day down the road. The future has anticipated you. Our hologram has anticipated your future participation. So just follow along the video and fill in the blanks as they come up in the session, and know you are included in the energy shift that'll happen at the end. And it is, an exploratory thing on how we can improve our energy in the face of this challenge that all of us around the world are facing. And with this kind of transformative work, it's always best to not be driving, not be handling major equipment, not be multitasking. If you're going to listen, just listen in. I promise you this will be a short session. It won't be hours long. It'll be, my intention is that we get to the heart of our session very quickly. And what else? Yes, I think that's about it. And if you have any questions, of course, you can try sending them in the chat box if you can find the chat box. And if I can find what you send me, I'd be happy to answer them. Certainly afterwards, this video will be available immediately afterwards, and you can leave, I think you can send responses to the share button or so forth, and I do get back to everybody. All right, so with that, let's get started. So this is our resonance repatterning session for coping with the current pandemic virus and resonating with a positive, uplifting recovery period. So I'm checking where we need to start on this map is with orientation. We don't. With problems, no. With intentions, yes. And it's some of the intention questions put out there. Yes, so odd place to start. I would have thought we'd start with the problem first, but I always trust this muscle checking. So what do we want instead of all the stress of the pandemic? So what is our new possibility intentions? And so I have a list of 10 things, and I'm going to check. We need to hear all of them for the sake of the group. We don't. We need 1, 2. So here's a good intention. And again, for yourself, write it out for yourself if you haven't set one to me in advance. Write it in the positive present tense, whatever it is you want, avoiding the use of the word want. And watch how I label these. For the first one, the intention is I find healthy ways to nourish myself emotionally. And checking our resonance with that biofeedback tool, we're off. And I find ways to nourish myself emotionally. That's the statement, sorry to say. We're off for that. And that's off. And we need 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is interesting. Let me just copy and paste this into the notes first so we don't lose it. And the statement is, now when I'm looking this way, I'm looking at the session notes, so I'll try to move them over a little closer. I make a list of things that can be done while in this lockdown phase and accomplish 3 useful things each day. I stay connected to friends and reach out regularly to them. And I appreciate myself each day for the things that I have accomplished. Well, that's a lot of things to do, but we're off for all of that. And I must say they're all positive, uplifting things to do. Make a list of things to do and see what you can do each day. So we need anything else then from 7, from 8, from 9, from 10. Any other intentions for this session at this time? There is. So now, since it's not on the list, must be one of you out there nurturing a good intention. We'll intuit what intentions it is that we need to make at this time. And this is our intentions for our current circumstances and our intention for coping. So it's an intention about staying positive. Nope. Getting physical exercise. Yes. I do what I can to get physical exercise in my space each day, or as permitted, go outside. Let's go outside for a walk, for physical movement of whatever kind, using physical distancing, using or abiding. I'm going to put minding the rules for distancing. It's different in every city in rules for distancing. In some places, they're opening up some spaces like parks or whatever. In other cities, not at all. And you can understand why. So we need other intentions besides this. We don't. Again, if you have an intention, write it out. And right now I'm muscle checking your intention. We're not resonating with it. Neither are you. We're off for it. And intentions are like this. The frequency of an intention is here. And if it manifests, it means our energy is matching that intention. And therefore, we experience that intention. If we don't experience it, it means that the intention is a little bit higher than us, and we're somewhere down here. Our energy is chaotic. It's resonating with the issue. It's just not matching. So what we want to do with this session is match it, okay? All right, so that's intention. Well, we need something else from the intention section. We don't. From repatterning, modalities, action, orientation. Now we're going to check on the problems. And for that, I also have a list of problems submitted in advance. And I must admit, having read them, it's almost just like hearing the nightly news. We're all in this together, and we're all experiencing pretty much the same thing together. The problems are overlapping for all of us. But for the sake of this session, the ones that we are not able to handle as a collective that needs attention in this session is number one, number two. It's finding the isolation painful, and it exasperates the early emotional childhood neglect I experienced. Yeah, so that's the statement that we're going to put in there. That one, we're on for it. And we need 3, 4, 5. I can't, well, this is also very painful. A lot of people in long-term care homes and their families that can't see them. I can't see my parent or relative who lives in an assisted living facility. I'm her only connection. All right. I'm going to put that in this session. That's a problem. We're on for that. We resonate with that problem. And we need 6, we need 7. Worried about countries and cities returning to normal too soon. That is a big concern. Anyone is likely to get the virus and die. And for me, I'm missing walks in the park and everyday activity like shopping, friends, and errands. Yes, so we need all of this statement. We do. So I'm putting that statement in the session and checking. And we are worried about countries and cities returning to normal too soon. Anyone is likely to get the virus and die. For me, I'm missing walks in the park or everyday activity like shopping, friends, and errands. And we resonate with that. So our energy is matching those problems. And so therefore we experience that kind of anxiety. And we need 8, we need 9. So we need anything else from the problem section. We do not. Okay? We need a repatterning. We do. So for that, I have a selection of repatterning books. I'll show you my books over here. We can't, maybe can. Here's all these books. And there's hundreds of repatternings to choose from. So I'm checking them by title: Primary Patterns, Unconscious Patterns, Chakra Patterns, Meridian, and 5 Elements. The book that we need. A book of repatternings based on the acupuncture system. And a lot of these kind of come down to one point in the end, which I really like. All right. Now, what we need is We need abundance repatterning. We don't. Viewpoint, no. The seasonal 24-hour time clock, no. We need the 5-element qualities one, yes. So let's see what we can do with that. It'll come down to one acupuncture point for all of us to shift these frequencies. So the role that's needed, what role in your life feels uncomfortable for you in some way? It's something from this list. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6, 7. That's other. It's one of these roles, multiple roles. It's my role managing. Now, there's some sort of role in, like, it's the issues that we've already submitted. That issues and intentions already submitted. Those are the ones that we're using. They are. And so normally I ask, what role are you playing in life that feels uncomfortable? Husband, wife, son, daughter, etc. Student, employee, employer. But it's really, we're bypassing that. We're just looking at our issues and intentions. And we're going to add to the intentions and our intention for the world. So apart from what you want personally, instead of the pandemic issues and pain and fear, etc., the intention, the question was that some of you answered was, make an intention for the eventual recovery period. How would recovery unfold for you, your community, city, your country, or the world? So we need one or more of these intentions. We do. It's in many ways, when you think about it, so many things have changed in our lives now, just a few short months. And it's predicted, and I kind of believe it'll be a long time before anything comes back to how we did our life just a couple of months ago. But there's some learning. There's some higher learning that's taken place too. How many people learn that a lot of meetings could be just so much more efficiently conducted online in 5 minutes instead of a whole afternoon, for example? And how many workplaces can do their things online instead of, having to drive someplace, waste all that gas, etc.? How many people would rather just enjoy the greenery, that all this stopping the do of life, and just hanging around and seeing the greenery of life and nature returning? So there's just so much that can be changed after the pandemic is over. I think our way of thinking about things is going to change. But let's see what the intentions submitted are. So we need number 1, number 2, the neighborhood action groups that have formed in my city mature to become sustainable vehicles that transform the inequality and extreme divisions in my city and country. Lovely intention. We need that intention. We do. And saying that again out loud and checking its resonance, the neighborhood action groups that I formed in my city mature to become sustainable vehicles that transform the inequality and extreme divisions in my city and country. We're not resonating with that. We're off. Okay, and we need number, let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Deeper connection to self and my community. So let's change that to we experience. So I'll put that in, we experience a deeper connection to ourself and our community. We are umbilically or at a deep unconscious level, we're off for that. So off. And we need, let's see, something else from 4, 5, 6, 7. I will even more, I fully, deliberately allow alignment and am prolifically, abundantly living my life fully. All right, so we'll just put that first part in here. We need to check on what we need for wording. I Leave out will. This is a positive statement. And you can write out a statement for yourself. What is your intention for the world in terms of recovery? What would make sense for you? And just write it out for yourself. I fully, deliberately, and deliberately allow alignment and am prolifically abundant, living life fully. We're off for that lovely statement. But we need something else for the future of for the recovery period. We do. 87654. Did I miss something on the next page? I did not. We need 3. We need 2. We need 1. We need 1 or 2. All right. There's more care and appreciation for myself, others, and the community, for plants, animals, the earth, especially for the air, the water, the minerals that exist on the earth and beyond. It's a far-reaching implication, that statement, and we're off for it. There. And now, you might say, well, how does that help me? But when Lynn McTaggart, author Lynn McTaggart's great book called The Power of 8, and in it she talks about how when you intend in a group, like we're intending in a pretty large group here, for something outside yourself and something bigger than yourself, that group, that target, does experience a shift for the positive. But the big surprise is each of us participating in that group, we also experience that shift. So keep that in mind and know that your intentions are being fueled by what we intend for the bigger picture. So we need anything else for the bigger picture here? We do not. Okay. And this is intentions. Just labeling this so we know where we are later. And we need anything else for the intentions. No. So now it comes down to a number of qualities that are needed. And so for that, I'm going to back to the repatterning. We need awareness coherence. We don't. That's where we'd have more insight. We need personal coherence. In other words, what we do. Yes, our personal actions, we need to identify the related qualities for our personal coherence. And it's divided up by elemental qualities. So we need wood element qualities. No, fire, earth, metal element. And under metal, we need number 1. Number 2, I'm connected to my spirit, and that's off. And we need another metal, a water point. No, that's the only positive statement. It's a quality that is us, but we don't resonate with it. So we're off for that. There's a non-coherent quality involved. There is wood, fire. 1, 2, 3. First part, say I feel unloved. Yeah, so that's a fire point. I feel unloved. And we resonate with that. And we need earth, we need metal, we need a water point. Non-coherent water is involved. Something blocking our flow. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4. First, second. Say, so this is the statement, I'm frozen in the expression of my feelings. And we're on for that. Okay. So we've got 3 elemental qualities. We need to check on the earlier experience. We don't. Normally just do that in individual sessions. We need to identify something that's incomplete or unresolved. We don't. So we'll move on. Now it comes down to the healing modality for this session, the thing that'll bring more energy so that we can raise our vibration and match what's coherent and break away from what's not coherent. So 3 elements came up: metal, fire, and water. And water puts out fire, and fire melts metal, and metal nourishes water. So the starting point here in this little circle would be metal, connecting to our spirit. No. Resolving the pattern of feeling unloved in fire. No, it's the last one, water. We need to get our water unfrozen. I'm frozen in the expression of my feelings. Would help us connect to our spirit if we could get over that. And then, no, actually would help us to feel more loved, which would then support us being connected to our spirit, so we could feel more like ourselves. So what we need here then is, so we need the water point, bladder meridian. It comes down to the kidney meridian point, often referred to as the emergency meridian in the system. And kidney meridian needs a wood point, a fire, an earth, a metal. So it needs a metal point to control the wood element. No, not that one. Our water needs, here it is, kidney meridian needs water, wood, fire, earth, metal. Does need metal to nourish the water element with values, inspiration, and cleansing. So let's go there. We need the metal point on the kidney meridian. If you're an acupuncturist or you know the acupuncture chart, you can find that point, the metal point, which is, let's see, it's number 7, called returning current. And you can hold this along on yourself if you like at home. I'm just going to show you. This is, if you went for an acupuncture session, this is where they put the needles, but we're not using needles. We're using a finger contact on number 7 right over there. And I don't know if we can get that any clearer or not. Doesn't seem to be. Maybe I need to get closer. Oh, there it is. Do you see that, number 7? There. Which foot? Left foot, your right foot. It's just above the ankle, kind of towards the back of the leg, where the seam of an old-fashioned nylon would be. Just put your finger there. I'm using this chart as a proxy for everyone. So it's number 7. Number sign 7. Returning current on the kidney meridian. And we're going to hold that point for about 30 seconds. Doesn't usually take that long. I'm checking what we need. A minute, less, about 30 seconds. And if you want, just close your eyes, relax into holding that point very lightly. It only needs a light touch if you're participating along here. Take a breath, breathe along, just breathe. And contacting this point helps to release the blocked frequencies that are in that, and then open up for the flow of energy. And need another couple seconds. Yeah, you can slowly let go of that point now if you're holding it. If not, don't worry about it. And take a deep integrating breath. Yeah. All right. So now we've put some energy into our system by holding that point. And so now we're going to go and check all the statements again. We are. Yes, we need anything else before that. We don't. So let's check these patterns that have come up for resonance. We're creating this morphic field here where we are resonating with the positive. Let's see what we have. You can say all these along with me if you like. I find healthy ways to nourish myself emotionally. And we're resonating with that. I make a list of things that can be done while in this lockdown phase and accomplish 3 useful things each day. Staying connected to family and friends and reach out regularly to them. I appreciate myself each day for the things that I have accomplished. We're on for that. That's actually a very important thing. you spend any amount of time appreciating yourself for just about anything, even the weather, it creates a new brain chemistry that really pulls you out and beyond the fear state or an anxious state. Say this: I do what I can to get physical exercise in my space each day, or as permitted, go outside for physical movement, minding the rules for distancing. Yep, we're on for that pattern. And now we're going to clear our problem patterns and finding the isolation painful, and it exasperates the early emotional childhood neglect I experienced. And we're now off for that pattern. It's not like it disappears. It's a fact. It historically had occurred, but we are not putting any energy there anymore. The next problem pattern, I can't see my parent or relative who lives in an assisted living facility. I'm her only connection. And we're cleared for that. And then the last problem, worried about cities and countries returning to normal too soon. Anyone is likely to get the virus and die. For me, I'm missing walks in the park or everyday activity like shopping, family, friends, and errands. And we're cleared for that. So hopefully there's a new coping with that situation. And of course, if you wrote down a unique problem for your own situation, say it out loud and know that the energy has cleared for that in the context of this session. So our intentions now, the neighborhood action groups now these are bigger intentions for the world. And for ourselves, some of those snuck in, I think. The neighborhood action groups that have formed in my city mature to become sustainable vehicles that transform the inequality and extreme divisions in my city and my country. And we're on for that statement. Good. We experience a deeper connection to self and community, and umbilically, we're on for that now. Great. And next one, I fully and deliberately allow alignment and am prolifically abundant, living life fully. And we're on for that one. And the last, a few more statements. There's more care and appreciation for myself, for others, for the community, plants, animals, the earth, especially for the air, the water, the minerals that exist on this earth and beyond. There's a new respect. And Ron, it's no wonder metal element came up during our session. It's all about having that kind of respect. And the last handful of statements here from our 5 element qualities repatterning. I'm connected to my spirit. We're on for that. I feel unloved. Cleared for that. We don't resonate with it. Water and frozen in the expression of my feelings. Cleared for that. And that's it. Those are our statements. We did returning current number 7 on the kidney meridian to shift all of this. I'm just going to check for one more thing. We need a positive action to help the group integrate the shifts. We don't. So this repatterning session is now complete. And we are on for all the positive and life-enhancing statements of this session and off for the negative. So that's our session for today. I hope that you experience the positive that this session is going to integrate in for you and the world. And remember, this is not forever. This is temporary. Start thinking about the future and how you're going to just very nicely emerge into it in the next chapter of your life. This is Carolyn Winter. Thank you so much for joining me for this session today for World Peace Hologram and for the Repatterning Practitioners Association. Bye for now.